Buckingham Palace investigation from Meghan Markle simply will not go away. And here's one of the bigger burning questions that the palace would now like some answers to, because they're struggling. As we know, Meghan Markle herself, alongside her husband Prince Harry, are apparently very keen to have this concluded more publicly than privately, as Our Gracious Majesty the Queen first suggested. But what are now the bigger problems concerning this investigation? Hi, good morning, welcome one and all. How are you doing today? I hope you're all keeping well. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, bringing you all the latest breaking and exclusive royal news, especially just for you. Now, it's interesting, isn't it, with this particular ongoing investigation, because as we heard over a year ago now on that bombshell Oprah Winfrey interview, and I really don't like that expression, do you, bombshell, but that's what the media call it. What I kind of felt is that there were lots of questions, lots of answers to questions that remain unanswered a year on. And that's part of the bigger problem, because when you drop out these particular claims, then you really have to back them up. And so far, it's been very difficult for the Buckingham Palace staff to actually find out where these stories literally came from, as one can imagine. But this particular comment from Meghan Markle herself was rather alarming. It was all to do, of course, with her mental health and how she had suicidal thoughts while being a member of the British monarchy. Really alarming stuff, and obviously you wouldn't wish that on anybody. I mean, whatever your thoughts, it must be very difficult to get into such a dark place. But the bigger issue, as we know, is Our Gracious Majesty the Queen did say afterwards that this will be dealt with privately, and of course, while she was taking everything seriously, recollections indeed may vary. But now where it gets really interesting is they have been interviewing numerous members of staff within the palace, because what they're trying to ascertain really is who exactly did Meghan Markle speak to when she reached out for that much needed mental health support. Now, Meghan herself said that she spoke to staff members. It's really strange when you think, because the royal household has its own medical team. Prince Harry would know this. So wouldn't he really have been better placed at pitching her to someone, rather than a staff member? Perhaps Meghan didn't know how it operated. We could always give the element of doubt. But what's interesting to note is that rather than sort of being able to pin down exactly who Meghan spoke to, unless she comes forward with the actual person who she spoke to, or people regarding reaching out and trying to get that all-important health, this particular thorny issue cannot be concluded. It's very similar really to the bullying claims also. That's ongoing, as one can imagine. And the difficulty there is, as we now know, her former assistant, Jason North, came to the fore during the trial with the Mail on Sunday, of which Miss Markle won, in theory. And he basically, offered text messages, that sort of stuff, regarding what had gone on. So for Meghan and Harry, unless they clear up some of these bigger, thornier issues, it's really difficult for the royal household to actually put a conclusion on this. And for Meghan herself, it does leave a dark stain moving forward regarding her reputation, and more importantly, exactly what went on during a very short tenure as a member of the British monarchy. As she said, these were very dark times. She didn't want it to discuss with anyone, but she did say on air she spoke to someone or people regarding these terrible dark thoughts. What the palace now needs to know from Meghan is, please, who were they? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.